All right, today I want to talk about a quick update on the Ramona Flowers Academy. Today's day 3. I missed out on day 2. I didn't talk about it. I will a little bit, but I don't know. I just kind of came up with that title yesterday because I truly feel like that movie, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, especially during the second half of the day, like the last 3.5 hours. I'm not exaggerating at all when I say this. I am the only male in the room surrounded by a bunch of females that are my age. And I've never been more happy in my life. I don't know what it is. I get this extreme dopamine hit that lasts 3 hours, like this extreme euphoric feeling. Just being around these girls for some odd reason. There's one girl that looks exactly like, just like down to everything, exact copy of my one-itis. The one girl that I used to go to high school with, I ended up talking to her today a little bit. But I don't know. I guess just the severe, obviously nothing's happening, It's just being in the presence of the opposite sex is enough to release an extreme dopamine hit. And I've been blue-balled every single day. I don't know if you guys have ever been blue-balled before. That sucks. I was originally going to call this video Blue-Balled and Bamboozled, the copening, because every single day I've came home, literally, I've been blue-balled. I've had to drop off loads like a fucking truck driver. And, I don't know. It's just like, because even in the morning, it's still severely unratioed. Like, there's only, I don't know, sometimes we'll get new people, but it's just, I don't know, there's just no guys for some reason. The second half of the day, only male there, and it's enough to release this extreme dopamine hit. And I'm so distracted too, by my one-itis clone, because of how similar this girl looks to her. It's almost identical. I found out the reason why she's there too. Basically, yesterday she told us she pretty much totaled her car, she was drunk driving, totaled the whole car, and the court is basically making her do this whole thing. But that's not really even her issue. I guess that's pretty bad, but that's not the reason why she wants to be there. Apparently that was kind of the last straw, I guess, in her life. Cause she's always complaining, about girlfriends and boyfriends. Now keep in mind, I think all of these girls, except for the 2 mothers, they're all bisexual. I've heard them all. They've all told, I've had girlfriends who are bisexual, all that. So, do I have a chance? Do I want to be delusional? No, not really. Do I want to be optimistic? Sort of. I don't know. I just gotta find a balance between, not, giving my hopes up and not being delusional at the same time, obviously. But pretty much, yesterday, this was after one of the activities we did, where we pretty much do these updates where we say how, we're feeling, how the day's going. And I pretty much said the same shit. I told them, I got nothing going on. I'm just isolated all the time, all that. And finally, the girl sitting next to me, which she looks like Ramona Flowers. That's the whole irony. Most of them do. They just have this aesthetic. But she's got pink hair, the bob cut, piercings, makeup. Her skin is super, super pale. I don't know if that's makeup or whatever. But, and this is so brutal. She was literally laughing when she was telling me this. She was holding her mouth. And she was like, have you tried downloading an app? Not one for dating, but for friends. You can maybe meet someone on an app. I'm not, I have a hard time trusting people as it is. I would definitely want to meet somebody more naturally as opposed to an app. I was laughing my ass off too, because just how cringe, it's just the worst advice in the world. But basically after this whole thing, the lunchtime happens. I don't sit in the whole the lunchroom at all, because this is when all the guys leave. The couple guys that are there, they either go to some other program or do something. I don't know. They're just not there the second half of the day, and I'm the only guy. And even the therapist, the person in charge, switches over to a female. So I'm literally the only male there. And so yeah, the lunch happens, And I don't go into the break room because of how cringe it is. Like, it's always like overpacked. And I just don't do it. So I just stay in the room. I'm the only one in the room. And the girl came in, the Ramona Flowers girl. She, pretty much, she sat next to me. It was me and her in the room. And of course, I'm excited. I'm like, oh shit. I wasn't nervous at all, surprisingly. I didn't have like really much anxiety. She was like, oh, hey. And I was like, hey. And, I just asked her a couple questions. What's she doing here? She was pretty much talking about like her vaping addiction. Like, first she said, she just turned 18 a couple months ago. It's her first year of college. It was too much, mental breakdown, hospital. Parents made her come here. And then she was talking about like, oh, the weed and smoking, my health has declined. It's funny too, because I'm like, why do you even, like, what does vaping even do for you? Like, what and she's like, oh, she was like, it doesn't even do anything anymore. I just smoke it. And I'm like, why? Like, if it's not giving you like a head high or anything, like, why are you still smoking? She's like, I don't know, out of habit. Maybe I'm addicted. I don't know yet. I was like, I think you are addicted. Like, I don't know. But, anyway, I got cock blocked by the doctor, like the psychiatrist, because he was like, oh, can you see me for a second? And I was, and I had to go, because the conversation didn't last long, maybe like 5 minutes. And, I went in there, the dude, same song and dance. Oh, I'll prescribe you this SSRI to deal with your anxiety and depression and my fucking broken record. And I told him, I'm like, cause he looks like the comic book guy from The Simpsons, like literally exactly the same. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to take medication. Like, let me think about it. I don't think this is something I want to do. I've seen what it does to people, positively and negatively. I don't think this is the best route. I was just challenging like everything he said, and he just was kind of like, okay. And, after like a half an hour, I'm back in the room. And by this time, the lunch is over, all that. And the girl, like, I sat right next, like, she was still sitting next to me, sat back in my seat. And I looked down at her phone, and she was texting some guy on Snapchat. And I was like, I don't know, I just kind of got depressed. It's funny because, like, when women talk to you, like, you want to feel special. You want to feel like, oh, like, she's the only one talking to me. I'm the special guy. But, she could be talking to other guys. I mean, theoretically, it doesn't mean anything. Because, like, you got to understand, like, I mean, obviously, like, these guys that are texting, these girls, obviously they want to, have sex with them. But, like, she'll say, oh, no, he's just a friend. He's a friend. But you already know, like, the guys know. Like, that's no friend. He's definitely in it, just to get laid. Like, he's not a dummy, But, yeah, I saw that. She was going back and forth with two guys. Because I saw like guy names like at the top, and I was like, damn it, I don't know. I just like kind of felt like discouraged. I was like, ah, shit. So that was that day. I spent the rest of the 2 hours, passing around a ball with a bunch of questions, answering them, talking to each other. And, yep, I got my dopamine, that day, got the nice blue balls, and today's a new day. It wasn't really that eventful, but, what ended up pretty much happening was I ended up talking to the girl that I used to go to high school with. And it's crazy because I've bumped into her a couple times, over the years. And I was even talking about her, and thinking about her not too long ago. It's the same girl that my friend asked out 3 times. And, I told this to my mom. I'm like, there's a girl there from my high school. And she's like, it's a sign from God. Oh my God, you're going to get together. I just know it. And, I showed her a picture from the yearbook. She's like, oh my God, it's going to happen. And I'm like, hell no. Like, apparently she has a boyfriend too, which sucks. But today it's weird because today she said she doesn't. Like, basically today the last couple hours is like when we talk. And today's course was on relationships, ironically. And I asked a couple questions to them all, about like, first off, how did you end up breaking up with your exes? How did you end up meeting them? I had a lot of good questions. And she ended up saying that, like, oh, my ex, well, he is my ex, but not really. And she was trying to explain to me, like, I'm not really in the best mental state to date, but I also want to be with him, so he's technically my ex, but not. And oh my God, it's just like so confusing. Like, I'm telling you, like, out of the things I heard, like out of the relationship drama with like all these girls talking about it, like it was just so confusing for me. Oh, he's my ex and I have another ex, but that ex, he's not my ex because like we broke up, but like he's texting me right now. And oh my God, like, and, you know, people too, like they think like, oh, you know, I'm so judgmental. I think I'm better than everybody, which is just simply not true. I mean, I'm just telling a story. I'm just like, I have no emotion behind anything I say. I'm just simply pointing out the things that I observe in my day-to-day life, the things that happen. I don't think I'm better than anybody in any way. In fact, you know, there's so many more people that are like well better off than I am. Again, like, I'm just simply telling a story of the things I see. You know, if you can learn something from it, entertainment, try and, you know, avoid ending up like me if you can. Cause I mean, you know damn well it's over for me at this point. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'll take it by day. You know, every day is, something new, especially now. Cause I feel like this group therapy thing is working in all the wrong ways. Technically, if you think about it, I mean, I don't really pay attention and care necessarily what most people are saying. I'm just happy that I'm surrounded by people, especially, you know, a bunch of females. So, I mean, there's that. There's something I could find joy in that. But basically, you know, during a couple of the breaks, because we'll have like a couple 15-minute ones and like one 30-minute one. And I was out in my car and my one-itis clone and the girl I went to high school with, they were both sitting outside talking to each other, like just sitting in the grass. And I don't know why I didn't do it. Like, I wish I grew balls and approached and said, you know, hey, can I, you know, talk to you guys for, you know, however long for a while. But I didn't do it. You know, I regret it, you know, not doing that today. So I just, you know, went inside. But I should have just, but the thing is, it's like, you know, I'm so used to getting rejected, because it's what I expect. Like, throughout my life, it's happened 100% of the time. And it's all I know. Like, that, it's seriously all I know. So I was just expecting that, but I don't know. Maybe I should have, you know, tried it. But anyway, during the last 2 hours of the whole session, it was on just like relationship stuff, like pretty much like managing relationships, and all of them had the opposite problem I have. And like the lady, she was asking questions. Like, one of the questions was, if you know, your partner shared different beliefs than you, would you be with them? I mean, I was having a field day with that one, because it's like, you know, you can counter that question by saying, would it even matter? You know, if the person's attractive, would you let it slide just based on their looks, just the fact that, you know, they're good looking? And I said that, and, you know, just like asking that question, and this one girl was like, facts, that's so facts. It was, oh my God, it was so cringe. But anyway, you know, another question they asked, you know, the therapist asked was, if you could be alone on an island away from people, would you do it? And the second she said that, you know, everyone answered at the same time. I was the only one that said no. All the girls said yes. And they wanted to know why I said no. And I pretty much explained that, you know, in my day-to-day life, I'm already isolated enough as it is. My day-to-day life, I don't have many social interactions. I'm lonely. So why would I want to be more lonely? And then they were saying, oh, like, I can't stand people. My ex, because that's all I heard was, oh, my ex-girlfriend, my ex-boyfriend, my ex did this to me, my ex. I mean, I don't know, like, their lives or any of that, but, like, no one ever, like, they didn't say anything that they did. They're just like, oh, my ex was horrible to me. My ex was so toxic and traumatized me. I heard that the whole time. And, like, they were like, oh, I just want to be away from people. I have too many people in my life that are causing problems. And I pretty much said, you know, like, be grateful you have people, because being lonely definitely sucks. You know, try and, I don't know, just be a little grateful that you have people in their life, and you know, in your life. And obviously they were just like, oh, okay, but I don't know. Just there's no point in even really trying that. But yeah, like that was pretty much it. I mean, we just talked about relationships. I just asked a couple questions, and that was that. You know, I'm home now, and yeah, that's pretty much it for now.